Hey you, it's Christine, the Beauty Pro Coach, host of the Beauty Pro podcast, and today we are talking about marketing, but not just any kind of marketing. We're really going to be focused on strategic marketing, and strategic marketing falls along my favorite topic of public relations, how to be more intentional on how to promote your salon, promote your business, promote yourself as a beauty or barber pro. So if you have ever heard of public relations, or you've seen Sex and the City and you've seen Samantha Jones and her high value prostitution, that is not what we're talking about. We are talking about straight up marketing and how you get more eyes seen on your company, on what you've created, and get not only your ideal client, but also your ideal staff. Now, this is something that a lot of my coaching clients, they do come to me for, and they don't know how to get more people to know who they are, what they do, and all of that. I want you to focus on this, the actual words itself. Public relations. Public for everybody, right? The whole world, your whole community. And then relations. Relationships, baby, it's relationships. Relationships are the cornerstone of life and everything that we do. So if you are wanting to get more people inside of your business, you have to be personable, you know? You gotta be welcoming. You gotta be friendly. And I might have said this in a past episode, but if you want a friend, you gotta be a friend. You have to practice the golden rule in more ways than one in this life and in this business. Besides that, the beauty and barber industry is all about people. So if you don't have people in your chair, if you don't have people working for you, then you're like, what are you're just going to stand behind the chair and just do hair on the air? Like, no, that doesn't work. So public relations is public relationships. I want you as an artist to get creative in complete legal ways. Okay. Legal, follow the law. Okay. How are you going to build a relationship with your community? There's two questions that you need to be able to answer on a constant, frequent basis when it comes to strategic marketing. What's in it for me? What's in it for them? When you can answer these two questions, your relationship building is going to be a lot smoother, a lot easier, and it's going to flow. But even before you can answer those two questions, you need to rewind and really understand who you are as a beauty professional, who your business is, why anybody should care, and what sets you apart. It's the same thing that I'm constantly reiterating on the podcast, constantly talking to my coaching clients about, constantly talking to my own staff about. It is the who, what, where, when, why, and how of yourself as a human being, yourself as an artist, and then your business. I have said this in the different hair shows that I've gone to. I have said this to my coaching clients. I'm constantly talking about this, is that you are not your business. Your business has its own identity with its own financial numbers with the IRS and the banks and so on and so forth. And you have your own social security number, your own banking information, hopefully, and all of those identifiers. You are not one and the same. A good example is Britney Spears, the singer, versus Britney Spears, the human being. Two very different people, to the point that there is mass hysteria that there is a clone of Britney. Like, come on, guys, let's be real. Okay, so back to what we were talking about with public relations. You want to be able to build connections and sustain those connections, relationships, partnerships, whatever word you want to use that's going to make you feel better about yourself. Use that word, but know that it is a relationship. It is a professional relationship that the boundaries need to be set from the get-go. So 3 points I want you to really get before you decide to get involved with any partnership, any collaboration, you do any in-salon event. I want you to really capture these 3 points. First point is do your research. Do your research, study, get to know who the audience is that you want to target most. Let's say you want to do a charity event for domestic violence victims. You yourself have never had any experience of domestic violence, but that you have a heavy heart for that particular audience. Research your local community. Wherever your salon or spa or barbershop is located, see if there's any charities, any events specifically targeted to those people. Understand that there's going to be a different way of communicating. You're not going to be able to mass announce what you're doing because a lot of these situations, as far as domestic violence is concerned, is very hush-hush, right? They're very much protected against people who can harm them. So you don't want to be blasting them online and saying all of these wonderful things just so that you can make a pretty penny. Okay? Do your research. Once you get the research done and you know more or less your audience, we're going to stick with the domestic violence example, you're going to speak in language that they understand. You're going to talk in their words, not yours. You may be going into this thinking, oh, I will make money on some used and abused people. No, get that out of your heart, your mind, everything. You need to go into it thinking, I am going to service my community. I'm going to help these people in need. I may or may not win as far as money is concerned, but at least I'm going to be able to sleep at night and maybe people will know about my business. Here's the reality. A lot of times you have to lose before you can win. And if you're constantly going into events, promotions, collaborations, thinking that you're going to come out on top every single time, you're highly mistaken, especially when it comes to collaborations. Yes, you can absolutely refer back to those questions of what's in it for you, what's in it for me, so that it could be a match, but be mentally prepared that this event, you may not reach the goal that you're going for, but you will get another goal like brand awareness instead of financial victory. The second point, makes sense? All of that was the first point, but now we're going to go to the second point. The second point is you're going to reach out to that organization. You're going to talk to them, maybe take them out for a cup of coffee, whoever's in charge, offer them a free service in the salon. You need to build a relationship with that person where it's understood that, hey, I want to be a part. I want to give back to your organization. I want this to be a two-way street, but I need to know where you need help most. Doing it this way, it's a very selfless way. You may be watching this and you're like, that's a lot of work and effort. I just want it to be a quick done deal. Guess what, baby doll? It is never a quick and done deal. Not even this production of this podcast is a quick and done deal. I know, I make it look easy. Thanks. Nothing is ever that way. So you have to put in the work for the event, the collaboration to look seamless, easy, and a breeze. And then the third point, which is more or less a blending of what I just finished talking about in this whole episode right now, is that has to be a two-way street. You both have to be able to win something, even if it's just brand awareness, and you both have to be able to establish a relationship where you can refer each other to, your services. If that cannot be done, please don't even bother. There are a lot of programs out there, and I've actually interviewed some of them on the BeautyPro podcast, such as Maya. Go check out that episode. Salon Concierge, check out that episode, which really talks about the social media aspect, getting your name out there. You are basically paying for a service for someone else to kind of do the heavy lifting for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is a time and place for everything, for everyone in this industry. What I am saying is that you need to have the background information, the meat and potatoes, the foundation as to why you are going to be strategic in every approach that you make with every promo, every collaboration, every event that you do in the salon to get your name out there. Marketing is the big picture. It's the big strategy. And social media is just a tactic of how to achieve the big picture. Also, just because you have a strategy and just because you're executing it the way that I've been talking about, it doesn't mean it's going to happen overnight. I have worked with a particular organization doing their social media for about 1.5 years or so. And through that whole time, it is only now 1.5 years later that they are finally seeing fruit. I know people watching this, whether you're a small business owner, you are in a PR firm, whatever it may be, you may or may not agree or disagree with me, but I am telling you my experience with my client doing this particular strategy. In my own salon, it has taken probably, when I first started doing it, probably 1 year, 2 years, because we were right at the start of when all of the social media stuff was happening, that it was starting to take effect. That was before the algorithm became what it was today. It is before Google took off so incredibly. Like, it was right at the beginning of Facebook, right at the beginning of Google, and we were growing at a massive pace. Now things have settled and it's a little different, and so you got to be more strategic in how you approach. The big deal is that what I really want you to understand and get is that anything good and long lasting takes time. Oh, but what about those people who go viral? Okay, they are a blessing. They are the exception to the rule. You, my dear, are the rule. Okay? Everything we're talking about is about relationships, okay? You need to be able to understand that before you can move forward. If you can't answer those things, you're going to have a big problem. Your messaging is going to be a little shaky. It's going to be off. It is a constant reevaluation all the time. Even for me as a BeautyPro coach, as the host of the podcast, all of that, it's a constant reevaluation. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. You are setting the layers and the tones and to push off for more success and more success and more success. A lot of what I'm talking about is about self-help. It's about emotional intelligence. It's about knowing the background of all of those different companies that can mass market that I'm talking about. Once you get super clear on marketing and what your business is, what your specialty is, who you are as a leader in your community, you're communicating your message properly, you're self-aware of your brand and yourself. All of this becomes super easy. If this video has helped you in any way, shape, or form, if you have listened to the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and you are loving what I'm putting down, please leave a comment under this video, leave your ratings and reviews. I need to know this. Your feedback makes it all the more gratifying for me to be able to keep producing, keep teaching, keep showing you the tips and tricks of the trade as far as marketing goes, communication, leadership, self-awareness, all of that. I greatly appreciate it, and I want to know all about it. So leave your comments under the video, go subscribe to the channel, tell all your beauty besties about the BeautyPro podcast, and I can't wait to talk to you soon.